Are you there?
Yes. Hello. Okay.
Good. All right.
I just never. Oh, wow, that was quick.
That was quick. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you were here this time.
Oh, yeah.
This
time.
I try this a lot, and sometimes you're not there, and but that doesn't make it makes sense to me because we didn't have anything planned, and you shouldn't be there. I'm just like, I wonder if I go live if Dylan will be here. But either way, you're here. Welcome. Welcome to you.
Strong start. What are we doing here, Zach?
We're doing stuff in post now, so I can take this out in post. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of this Snoof Box, Chatterbox. Some nobodies talk their faces off. We do a bunch of stuff. My name is Zach. This is Dylan with me, and we are some nobodies. We're content creators. We try to make a bunch of weird stuff to make ourselves laugh, and if we do it long enough, eventually we'll see our own products being put out there that I think have been maybe legally laundered from us, which is fine. But either way, yeah, if you know our stuff, we make some really weird things. We have a couple award-winning podcasts, Silicon Angels, No Time to Binge, PowerPoint Showdown. We have a great show called Talking Upstream, which we'll probably get into later.
We got a lot of stuff that's not award-winning.
We have a lot of award non-winning content out there, and that's true. It hasn't won awards yet.
That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah, I don't really think you can win awards years after they're put out, though, right? You really got to search. You got to find something out if you can get an
retrospectively best in class.
Yeah, the best thing that we actually missed. I think that should be a category in most awards now. It's what did we miss from 4 years ago?
What, like 4 years ago, October 2020. The election was coming up. True. And Silicon Angels was thriving. Silicon Angels was thriving. The world was diving. Trump and his team were conniving.
Oh.
How's that?
I'm loving it.
And when was that submarine accident? Never mind. Keep going. Go on without me.
The submarine? Oh,
not the Titan one. Not the Titan one. The other one.
Oh, no, that was like 2 months ago. I'm not really sure. Either way, we're going to talk about some better things here. Okay. Although we both might sink. Who really knows at the end of this?
That's true.
Yeah, but we're still – I'm going to cut that one out. That's fine.
So you got to listen live. We can hear all of our flubs without Zach cutting them onto the floor.
Yeah, for real. Just so you guys know, I cut a lot of this really dull humor of mine out of the audio versions of this. A lot of times I say and it is a lot. And I have to take all of those out and then reformat it and put it into an MP4. I think that's what we're using currently.
Sounds right.
And wave. Yeah, just a wave. And if Michael Colby's on, you get random censored bits, which is funny because he cusses a lot. He puts the stank on his vocabulary. You know, he really gives it to you raw. Now, if you listen to the show, you watch the show, we usually have our opening bit, and we love that opening bit. But since we're really trying hard to come up with a budget to make something, really trying to become more professional. So I went hard out there and I tried to find some sponsors for us. And I think instead of doing some dumb bit in the beginning, let's use our talents. Dylan, if you don't know, he's a voice actor. He has voice acted a couple award-winning podcasts. And we're going to just use our talents and try to sell some stuff, try to make some money. So if it's okay with you guys, we do have a couple sponsors we want to get out of the way. We do appreciate them very much. Dylan, we obviously we talked about this before, and you probably should have your scripts ready. And let's see. Yeah. So if you just now they did ask me to do a couple sound bits just in case, so that's why Dylan's gonna be reading this so that I can pay attention to the production of this. Now that I have to do some editing afterwards, I've got to get it right. And Dylan is the best reader, and he's been practicing. I'm not sure exactly if he's done voices for this or not, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, hey there, boy toy fans, and do I mean action figures? I do mean action figures. Are you ready to dive into a world of excitement and adventure? Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Revengers action figures, the ultimate collection that brings your soon-to-be favorite heroes and villains to life. Let's take a closer look. Each Revengers figure is crafted with amazing detail and features dynamic poses that will make your collection truly stand out. From the powerful stances of the Incredible Fella to the stealthy look of the Incredible Fella. That's all the Incredible Fella's got, but they are all designed for action.
Wait, was I supposed to be doing something?
There's some sound of children playing in the background.
Oh, sorry. I missed my I missed my cues. I was looking.
Oh man. Oh. Sounds like children balloons deflating.
I missed my place.
It gets even better. Mercenary. Each figure comes with not only a cardboard back and a see-through plastic face, but also exclusive accessories that add an extra layer of excitement to your play. Imagine the Incredible Fella wielding his ripped, angry pants, or even sneaking up on him during his stealthy Fella Fap. His accessories make every adventure more immersive and fun.
I don't think I can do two things at once.
I gotta get back in the director chair.
Yeah.
Producer chair? I don't know. Now let's talk about the stories behind the figures. Each Revengers character has a unique backstory that inspires creativity. You'll learn about their powers, their missions, secrets, hobbies, mistakes, first loves, questionable decisions, failed investments, chemical dependencies, credit score, and the friendships they forge along the way. It's not just about play, it's about storytelling. I have an engaging anecdote about playing with the Incredible Fella. Oh. We were in orchestra together.
I'm sorry, I mislabeled these sound cues as well. I'm sorry, Revengers.
They're never going to sponsor us at this rate.
Zach, get this out. I can edit this right for the podcast. They only know this is in audio form.
Our shot at the RFW is gone. The Revengers film world. Oh no. Well, going on. Whether you're setting up a dramatic showdown or
wait, I thought you had an anecdote about this about your toy.
Yeah, we tried to get sponsorship for the RFW, but it never panned out. The Revengers Endless Tussle. Yeah. We were tussling and it was endless. Rumor has it that it's still ongoing to this day.
An incredible endless tussle.
Incredible. But whether you're setting up a dramatic showdown or breaking up a domestic disturbance that will ultimately turn into a simple misunderstanding, the narrative possibilities are endless. You can even create your own comic strips, misread that as economic strips or job application videos with them. Come on, get away from this? Yikes. Oh man. I usually do this with like a beer at my desk just to like lighten up. I don't just have water right now, so for all you collectors out there, Revengers action figures are perfect for display. Each figure stands tall, ready to show off their heroic poses on your shelf. Plus, the collectible cards that come with each figure add another layer of annoyance to your collection, keeping track of their powers, their stats, their likes, their dislikes, their allergies, all while trading with friends.
Hang on.
No? Do I make the noise? They need to work on their shuffling. I thought it was going to be like a riffle.
There's only 7 cards.
Oh, okay. Now you might be wondering, where can you get these amazing figures? Well, it's simple. Head over to that one guy close to your local toy store or visit us online at RevengersFiguresAren'tYourDad'sPlaythings.com. They aren't? Oh, okay. You'll eventually find the entire collection waiting for you, along with special promotions, coupons, and exclusive online deals. We take money. And remember, every purchase helps support creative play and imagination and sells everywhere. You're not just buying plastic knockoffs. You're investing in the joy of storytelling and knockoffs. Should I do a wild? So what are you waiting for? It's fine. We'll cut it out in post. So what are you waiting for? Gather your friends, unleash your friends, and embark on epic quests with your friends. And Revengers action figures. The adventure starts with us.
That's perfect.
No?
That's cheering? Wait, what?
Sound of cheering?
Oh, I think I have it.
Titles: Some Nobody's Chatterbox, Some Nobody's Discuss. This week, those are
no. Stop. Put
the curtain back.
Hold on a second. All right, so that was the first one, and thank you very much. Yeah. Well, we got to make some money. You know that.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's thank you very much for your patience. Let's get this one.
Zach knows that doing ad reads was something that I never ever wanted to do, so he wrote some ad reads for sponsors for our stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And you obviously have the second one, so if you want to go ahead.
I do.
Wait, that's not even it.
That's not it?
That's a crazy picture. What is that?
That's what all right. Do I start in the brackets?
It's
yeah. No, okay. Hey there, Hallow weirdos and pre-diabetics. Are you ready to experience a taste sensation like never before? They do it in an accent?
I like the accent.
Okay. Introducing the all-new Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup. Yep, you heard that right. Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup.
I don't think I have a picture of this for some reason.
Is that not the picture?
The one that I have, it looks like there's just like potato chips in it.
I thought that was the... Is it supposed to be mashed potato? It's supposed to be baked potato.
There's supposed to be baked potatoes in it. I was pretty sure that I had a picture of it because I put it on. Wait, I have this one. Hold on. This. If you zoom in over there.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, there's a baked potato.
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of parsley in there. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Sorry about that.
Let me see if I can reclaim that accent. Man, that is pure hick. Imagine the rich, velvety, non-peanut butter you love from Reese's, but actual cow fat butter, but combined with a fluffy, savory baked potato twist. It's the ultimate mashup of flavors that'll leave your taste buds dancing. You won't believe how a Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup can taste. They already showed the scene. Oh, there it is.
No, they're very happy.
Perfect for one to two different occasions. The Reese's Baked Big Potato Cup... Post. It's probably a fantastic snack that everyone will try or they won't. Whether it's movie night, AA meeting, Irish people / persons convention, Arbor Day Eve, Jan 6, the one day you want to go see Venom 3 but the tickets are too expensive, or just a treat after a long Thursday, the Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup has got your tongue buds covered. Oh. Damn. Oh, you predicted that. The moment me, takes a bite, I'll taste that signature Reese's goodness paired with a delightful baked potato twist. It's like comfort food and apologizing to dessert all in one. You won't find anything else quite like it. Only the Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup. Told me to act out grabbing it from a convenience store.
Well, also keep in mind this is going to be an audio form, so
that's true.
If you could
act out grabbing the Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup from. Should I have been reading these I forgot that we're an audio medium. Should I have been reading these out loud all the time?
You don't read the stage notes out loud. You act the stage notes audibly.
But it's an audio medium. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think people are supposed to read what I'm telling you to do.
We're getting in the weeds of it. On the move, grab a Reese's Baked Potato Cup and give it a firm squeeze. Mold it while stirring the wrapper to fit any pocket or crevice your body might make for a snack that's easy to enjoy anytime, anywhere. Just unwrap, suck it out, and take a bite. Savor the incredible blend of flavors. Spit it in your hand and re-suck it up a few times to continue the flavor exploration. I did that once. That engaging, that anecdote.
Wait, you did what once?
I spit it into my hand and then Oh my God, yeah.
And then you sucked it back up to get more of the flavor. Mm-hmm. So that does work. Oh, okay.
Yeah, recontextualize the flavor. And the texture of it is important. So I settle for the actual good treats when you can indulge in the extraordinary. Treat yourself to a new Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup today. It's a snack you've been dreaming about. Rich, maybe salty, definitely creamy and oh so potatoey. Get your hands on the Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup and discover the whole new world of flavor. Available now at that one eBay vendor. Don't miss out on this delicious adventure. Grab yours today before the cease and desist. Wow, I'm losing that accent really badly.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Cease and desist letters show up. That's right. It's time to savor the magic of the Reese's Baked Potato Big Cup. Got it back. End scene.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you very much. We actually had 6 more sponsors that we're supposed to go through, but I don't think that we're going to have time for that one. The one that I wanted to, maybe Dylan and I will do these after the show and then put them back into the audio format, because the one sponsor that I wanted to get to was Henri Remoulad's cheese printer. This seemed really cool, and although the ad read was 4 pages long, I really think that the information that it gives you is important. But we're going to go ahead and skip past that. I'm sorry for wait, you don't want to do that, do you?
I mean, that's the one I was excited about. Okay.
All right. I mean,
I'm not going to do an accent this time. I don't want to get canceled for something.
Yeah. Let's not do an accent this time, just in case, because we do want to show our range as well.
I'm going to shift every letter up 1 in the alphabet.
Oh, you're going to do it in a code?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I hope this isn't too hard to read. It's all you anyway.
Yeah, no, I think I got it. I should really expand my font choice above 6 point. Hey, queso connoisseurs. Are you ready to take your culinary creation to the next level? Introducing Henri Remoulade cheese printer. Well, that's right. I'm not doing that again. Henri Remoulade's cheese printer. Oh, you already cut to it. Imagine being able to print. Okay. Imagine being able to print your favorite cheese designs right onto your dishes. With Henri Remoulade's cheese printer, you can create edible art that will wow your friends and family. From fancy dinners to casual gatherings, the Henri Remoulade's cheese printer adds a deliciously fun twist to any meal. It's perfect for any occasion. Birthday parties? Check. Holiday sacrifices? Absolutely. Just imagine a beautiful 2-dimensional portrait of a rose on your appetizer plate thanks to Henri Remoulade's cheese printer. With its easy-to-use interface, the Henri Remoulade's cheese printer lets you choose from countless designs. They will really like dropping that product name, huh? Wonder if that's contractual. Whether it's a cute rose for Valentine's Day or a spooky rose for Halloween, your imagination is the limit. Print it, plate it, and wow your community with your creativity. I've got an engaging anecdote about using and eating Henri Remoulade's cheese printer cheese.
Okay. Please hit me with it.
I'm pretty sure this was kind of a real thing, where you could print something onto like a piece of food.
You can print and then put that sheet of paper that is edible onto anything you want. Most people use it on cakes. Yeah.
Cakes, right? And you can use like a specialty toaster element to trick people into thinking that Jesus appeared on your bread.
You can definitely do that.
That's how God decides to interface with humanity these days, is by printing his son's self onto pieces of toast in rural America.
Well, I mean, that's just where he is. Like his body prints that. It's not that he chooses the printing.
God is in Ohio. Yes.
He takes your toaster wheel.
It's the album. It's the title of my folk album.
God is in Ohio.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's partially gospel. But I didn't tell you the best part.
Oh.
The cheese from Henri Remoulade's cheese printer. It's not just. Wait, I might have to restart entirely. I might have to go all the way back to the first ad read we had.
What? Why?
I think we might have to restart the entire episode. Don't wait.
What?
Stick to boring monochromatic cultures. Even professional chefs are cheese from Henri Remoulade's cheese printer. I'm reading in code now.
Oh, I love it.
It's not just a fun kitchen gadget. It's time to unleash your inner artist. On your way to cheese superstardom. Transform your cheese experience, ensuring every bite is packed with Henri Remoulade. End scene.
Insane. Oh, that is how I ended that. That's cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, Henri, friggin' cheese printer. Honestly, money's money. So
Adult Swim would love us.
I think so. I think we are the cheapest version of Tim and Eric that there is out there.
Put us on at 4 a.m. and give me $20 a week.
We'll do a 4-hour-long show. Yeah. So anyway, thanks to everybody who paid attention for these sponsors. We just need the money from sponsors, not from you. But if you did want to give us some money for whatever reason, we do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/SomeNobodies. We're trying to gather funds because we want funds. We need funds to do weird stuff. Dylan is in a different state. He's in a college. He's doing the college thing. Oh, hey, what a great piece of art right there.
That?
Yeah, I like that.
I know. I started hanging it up on my wall.
It's cool. I like it. All right. So anyway, what we do here is we talk about the things that we've already talked about before. We talk about some things that we're interested in now, and then we talk about some things we're going to do in the future. We usually have a weird skit that makes me laugh in the beginning, and that's what I try to get Dylan to engage with me with. And you just witnessed that. You were there live for that. And if you
probably
didn't watch it
saw
live, I probably cut most of that out because a lot of that's just me giggling, and I feel like an idiot.
That's fine.
But we are also, we don't just make stuff. We engage with stuff. Now, the other day, Dylan, you asked me if I saw something called Substance.
The Substance.
The Substance. And I had not. But I wanted to get your genuine opinion on what this is before I watch it myself. So what is The Substance and why did you watch it?
So, it's a movie from a French director with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid. And Demi Moore is like an aging Hollywood superstar who is at risk of being replaced by the network with someone younger and hotter. And she gets invited to try The Substance, which promises to make a younger, more perfect version of herself, played by Margaret Qualley. And to say much more than that would be spoiling some really fun stuff. It rides the line between grindhouse and art house.
Oh.
There's some really intense moments of body horror in it. It's pretty fun. It is your enjoyment of this movie depends entirely on whether you can take a complete and utter lack of subtlety or nuance in place of having a pretty good time.
Okay.
I would recommend going to see it in theaters with a crowd. If you can find a showing with a lot of people in it, the reactions are part of the fun.
Oh, cool.
The people in the row with me, we entered the theater as strangers and we left as comrades because we were all having a great time together.
And you still keep in touch with them?
Yes. One of them almost hit me with their car on the way out.
That's a comrade move right there.
Yeah.
That's when you're tight with your friends, when you start hitting with your car.
I've been in Chicago for 2.5 months, almost 3 months, and I've gotten to a shouting match with 2 people so far in traffic, so that's been nice. The great part about a big city is that you're almost always strangers and you'll probably never see them again. So you can say whatever you want to them and they almost hit you with their car. And they usually say whatever they want to you. So
I genuinely thought you were going to say, I've been in Chicago for 2.5 months and I've been hit by 2.5 cars.
Would that be a motorcycle?
I'm not
sure. To have a car?
I don't live there. I don't know what they have there.
Cars.
Yeah, probably got halves of them too.
Italian beef.
All right. So the basic premise of this movie, like try to sum up what the movie's about.
Did I not?
I don't know.
Demi Moore tries a drug that produces a younger version of herself.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So it's like her dealing with that is most of it?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then her younger self gets a job at the studio that she ran her athletic show at, or her aerobic show, and it devolves into this really kind of twisted body horror weird adult kind of fairy tale, look at it through the lens of like fairy tale logic, and it'll go better, and you'll enjoy it more, because there's a lot of stuff that you just have to kind of take at its own presentation. But the acting's really good. There's some directing techniques that I really like. There's some really good use of close up and like fisheye. And there's just, I don't think this word is applied correctly a lot, but I'd say unhinged is probably pretty good for this one.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Demi does a good job.
She does a good job. Margaret Qualley does a good job. Dennis Quaid is clearly having the time of his life.
Do you know, and you said the director's French?
Yes.
Cool.
She did a movie called Revenge back in 2018, and that got a lot of buzz. Coralie Fargate? I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, unfortunately, but yeah, her movie Revenge was really well regarded, and so far the substance, I think, is divisive but generally good. Yeah, I think people generally like it. Some reviews I've seen are like, I've never seen a movie that treats its audience with such kid gloves and thinks they're so stupid. I don't like being talked down to. And I'm like, I mean, it's not a movie it's not a subtle movie.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Is it like metaphors? Was there layers to it, or it's just very clear?
Oh no, it's pretty overt.
Okay, this is what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But it's backed up with some really good. I just really like the production of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's well made.
Cool. And is there like
go ahead.
Is there like a twist ending, or is there like an ending that would make it like not able to be consumed multiple times? Because it sounds cool, but sometimes like those cool movies.
I'm sure you could watch it multiple times and get something else out of it. There's some deeper stuff going on beneath the overt. There's some pretty intense gore at parts of this that alternate between like very, very real nightmares that I have personally had and some really Cronenberg style body horror.
Oh, cool.
This isn't spoilers, but the younger version of herself is birthed by tearing its way out of her back.
Oh.
Like her back splits open and this younger version of her crawls out covered in blood.
Would that even be like the easiest way to get out of a human?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think I'd go up.
Through the mouth or through the chest?
Through the neck.
Okay. Like through the top of the rib cage?
Like where the clavicles are. That'd be my exit point.
This might be a shock to some people, but some human bodies are actually designed to produce people.
Nah.
Oh yeah, no, that's right.
Nah. It's cool. Do you ever watch a movie and while you're watching it, you kind of like think to yourself like, if I were writing this, I would have gone here, or I would have done this with it. Is this one of those movies where you're like, oh, I wish they would have done this with it, or was it cool enough where you're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that?
I think it's cool enough that I wouldn't have thought about it.
Cool.
And I think part of that is that it hits the ground running really quick early on, and it continuously moves. Like it throws a lot of stuff on the pile in sequence. Yeah. I would recommend going in with minimal spoilers. Try and get a crowded viewing, and cool. have a good time. Like just let it ride.
Yeah. What else are you reading, or what else are you watching?
I am playing Tactical Breach Wizards right now. I've talked about it. I've talked about it before on this show. I think before it came out.
Yeah.
Or maybe just after, but I'm still playing it. It is effectively a puzzle game where you have a team of wizards, one of whom is like a storm mage. The other is like a prescient, like he can see the future. One of them is a riot priest, like a cleric with like a mace and like a riot shield.
Yeah.
One of them is a necromancer doctor.
Okay.
And one of them is a druid / hitman who can like turn into a dog but also poison people with like thorns and stuff. And you have like an isometric grid with bad guys placed and hazards like windows and explosive barrels and barricades. And you have goals like finish the game by round 2. Finish knock every opponent out of a window. And you move your guys around the grid, and it's turn-based. You can take whatever turns you like. And you fire off your spells, and the bad guys take their moves, and it's very fun. It's a very nice, kind of low-key kind of puzzle game, and the setting is very fun. I'm a huge fan of things like Riot Priests. I think it's like 1980s, but magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Earth, but it's a world that is kind of the equivalent of our 1980s.
Yeah. Every time you tell me the name of this game, all I can see is like a Call of Duty, but wizards.
I'd play that too.
That sounds kind of interesting.
I'd play that. I'd play the hell out of that. It would get me back into. I was never in Call of Duty. It would.
You were so into Call of Duty.
I was a TF2 kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Overwatch, which isn't any better.
Yeah, Overwatch. There's dances in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing what's it called? Deadlock. It's Steam's or Valve's new game that is more like Dota than like it is Dota, but you have an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter game as opposed to a top-down RTS.
Oh, cool.
So you're running around like shooting people with like spells and guns and stuff. It's like a weird 1920s occult world. Yeah. And that one's pretty fun as well. It's very different, and I'm not a huge fan of Dota style because I think it breeds toxicity.
Yeah.
That one's kind of fun. And then Streets of Rogue 2 released their beta, their like demo. And that one, I love the first one, so I'm excited for that one to get more features.
That's cool. I recently played a game called I texted this to you guys, Squirrel with a Gun, and it is. I don't know if you know about this game at all. If you don't, the game is basically you are a squirrel, and there's all these weird agents that are sent to just murder you, and you pick up their guns and you get like machine guns, but the physics still work. So as a squirrel, if you shoot this desert eagle, you're going to fly backwards a good amount. So you can actually use the physics to like gain height in certain areas to be able to snipe these. It's such a cool, weird, quirky game. I like weird stuff like that. And I think once I clicked on to how many games are on like Valve and Steam Deck, and just weird games you can play for like a half an hour, and that's just perfect. That game really caught my attention. So
I'm curious about it. Yeah. I remember when it kind of dropped first. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only finding games like 6 months after everybody else like finds them. I'm pretty behind when it comes to that. But once I do find something I like, I'm all about it. And that was a cool little game. We also talked about, I sent you a message that I watched a movie called It's What's Inside. And it's on Netflix. And every time I see something that feels like we could have written it or we could have come up with it, I really have to engage with it to see like, how is it done? The movie is pretty interesting. The basic premise of it is as similar to like a drug. This one friend of the big 6-person group, he brings in this suitcase, and there is a device inside of it that you put these little probes on, whatever, and then they send your consciousness to the next person, and they use it as a game. So you can, like, the person setting it up can decide who goes into what body, and then the players will be like trying to figure out who's actually in what body. And obviously the telling of that story is going to be hard, because you kind of will get lost of who's inside what body. So they do this interesting thing where they show the two bodies talking, and then the whole screen will go red, and you'll see the two interior people talking, doing the exact same scene, which is interesting. The editor went nuts on this movie. They went at it hard. There's a lot of scenes that are like montage, like somebody's telling a story, but it's done in like quick cuts. Like it almost seems like they use like almost like a Photoshop to edit things in and out of the same scene, and then subtly rotate the scene, but all in static shots to tell a story. And you really get lost as who's into whose body. And then in the middle of it, something very drastic happens. And I don't really think it's a spoiler to say this, but one of the bodies dies while they're playing the game.
Sure.
So now you have a person's consciousness in the wrong body looking at their dead body.
And nothing to go back to.
And then somebody else's body has a consciousness that no longer exists anymore. So, and then playing with that was really fun to watch. And I feel like a lot of the times, a lot of the projects that you and I work on, we kind of get down that road of body swaps and what is like the worst case scenario of this. And yeah, if you happen to be on Netflix, check this thing out. It's really interesting. And like I said, the editing just goes hard for no reason in a way that you're like, I'll keep watching because I'm not sure why they're doing it like this, but it's really cool. And I had a really good time with it. So yeah, check it out.
I'm currently off Netflix, but I will be resubscribing next month because Arcane Season 2 is releasing.
Yep.
And that is one of the single pieces of media that I'm very excited for. So yeah. I'll be going down the Netflix rabbit hole a little bit to catch up on some stuff and to watch some other things.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot wait for Arcane Season 2. I think you're the one who told me to watch Season 1, and I put on the first episode, and without a doubt, I'll say that has the best character development of, I think, any show I've ever seen. The way that they give you details of these characters without just telling you the details is just top notch as far as this show goes.
I really appreciate it for giving you this cast of characters that you like and then setting them all at each other's throats for very understandable reasons. And you're like, oh, shit, I understand why they did that, but I don't like that they did it to this character that I like. And I also understand why he is mad at them. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one thing you told me a long time ago was that every character needs to have an internal desire as well as an external desire. The desire and the want that you can see, and then their internal desire or want that nobody's allowed to know that. And I think Arcane, over the majority of shows, they do such a good job of giving you those characters, giving you the development, making you understand and sympathize with every character in a way where you're like, I don't know whose side I'm on. It does suck they're going through this. And it's all set in such a cool, steampunky, really interesting world where the colors
Magitech.
Yeah, and the colors are so muted in the world that whenever you get the colors, it stands out almost offensively. Like when you see like that splash of blue or that splash of red, you're like, whoa, that's really cool. So yeah, I'm super excited for Arcane. And if you're listening or watching and you have not seen Arcane and you're into great storytelling and really cool animation style, I think that the art is beautiful. Animation style is really, really good. And you don't have to like the cell phone game to like the show. That's what I found out. Because I like the show so much that I downloaded I think there's 2 different games that it's kind of based on, and I hate both of them. I hate the main game.
It's League of Legends and Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah, and those are not interesting games whatsoever. And I think that if I were a fan of the game and I watched the show, I'd be like, yeah, I totally get why I love this game.
I used to play League of Legends a little bit in college, but I was never super into it.
Yeah.
Same thing that Dota that I was talking about. It breeds toxic people.
Yeah. Yeah, Dota, especially Dota 2. I think Dota 2 really gets some weird people out there. But yeah, so yeah, check that stuff out. That's cool.
Yeah.
I did see a couple trailers and I wanted to get your idea on them as well. One we recently watched together. I was looking for trailers to talk about, and we stumbled upon a movie called Love Story. Love Hurts. I think it's called
Love Hurts.
Love Hurts, yeah. And it's about a realtor is pulled back into the life he left behind after his former partner in crime resurfaces with an ominous message. With his crime lord brother also on his trail, Marvin must confront his past and the history he never fully buried. Now, Marvin is played by Ke Huy Quan from
Ke Huy Quan, I think
Ke Huy Quan. Oh, sorry.
I think so.
Yeah, he's from Goonies long time ago, old Indiana Jones, and then more recently, arguably my favorite movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and with such a resurgence. I mean, he came back like he was never anywhere to begin with.
Yeah.
And his performance in Everything Everywhere is spectacular. The choreography of his dance, his fighting was so great. Not dancing, his fighting. Yeah, and I just love how there's something so genuine that oozes off that man. And you can just like he says a couple words, and you're like, I'm 100% in. I love this guy, and watching him hurt in Everything Everywhere was just beautiful. Like obviously heart wrenching, but in such a beautiful way. And watching this trailer, you kind of see kind of the same things. You see that he's going through something pretty bad, but there's a lot coming after him. The choreography and the fighting in this looks really top notch. I'm really excited about it. What did you get out of this trailer?
So we have a trend on the show that's been emerging where we talk about highly choreographed action revenge thrillers. This is something I've noticed. We're 8 episodes in, and that term has come up several times. And I mean, that's partially on me, but we've talked about
Monkey Man.
We talked about Boy Kills World. We've talked about John Wick.
We talked about Boy Kills World in a bad way.
Well, right. No. I'm saying like, regardless of whether we like them or not.
Gotcha.
This genre has come up before.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this kind of movie, I think what it needs now, for me at least, is something more than just guy kills a bunch of people for revenge.
Right.
Like Monkey Man had a bit more of a message to it about like disaffected populations and like prejudice and things like that. This one looks like it's going to be a bit more romantic. Like there's a bit more of a romance for that. And longtime snoofs will know I'm a sap. So if they do that, cool, I'm into it.
Yeah.
If it's something like Boy Kills World where it's all style, no substance, I'll go see it. I'll probably be a little less into it.
Yeah. Yeah, Boy Kills World could be a skit, and I would have been okay with that. That could have been a short film.
It felt like a YouTube film drawn out to 2 hours, 10 minutes, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think John Wick was one of the major inspirations for a lot of these movies to trend towards heavily choreographed fight scenes with a hint of emotion to it. And I think with John Wick, it comes down to the fact that this guy really can't be hurt. Like you can shoot the hell out of him, and he's gonna be fine, and he's gonna come back. And then you mentioned like Boy Kills World, and that's another one where this dude really can't be hurt, and he's borderline vulnerable. And I think that the main problem with those style movies is that nobody wants to see an unbeatable person. Like that's not interesting to watch The Rock in every single fight, knowing that The Rock is going to win every fight. When you watch the season 1 of Daredevil, the reason that Daredevil is so cool, it's not because the choreography is that great. It's because that guy's taking a beating and he finds it in himself to get back up. And I think an emotional attachment to any person in a fight is always better than not emotional attachment in a fight. And I think with this actor, you have so much genuine heart and so much like almost cute energy that it's going to have to feel good and it's going to have to be engaging. I genuinely hope, because his performance, like I said, in Everything Everywhere was just spectacular to watch. Like he really did a great job with not only the fighting, but just the heart of that character who wants his family to stay together no matter the universe, no matter through the dimensions, So I'm really excited about that. And I was actually really happy that we found that together, because I just stumbled upon that while we were getting ready for the show.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, one trailer that I saw recently, and we talked about this shortly. I love A24. That turns into my favorite production company. I think that every time an A24 movie comes to the theater, I watch it the second I can see it, and I always leave there feeling something. And the movie that really got me on board with A24 was Everything Everywhere. Once I saw that, I had to go back and watch the other Daniels film, and I realized, I'm like, oh, it's the same production company, and that really just expanded all that. And then one of your favorite movies is The Witch. The Witch. Is it two V's?
I say The Witch.
Okay.
And then people ask, "Oh, The Witch," and I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're not really wrong, no matter what you say."
Yeah.
And then realizing that some of my favorite movies that I've seen in the last few years were A24 movies. One of the first movies when the pandemic hit that really kind of jarred me was Uncut Gems. And I've never seen a movie that gave me so much anxiety. Like watching that movie, I'm usually someone who I get comfortable and I watch a film and I really mentally engage with this film. Uncut Gems had me on the edge of my seat, and I was like biting my fingernails, and I was super like nervous the whole time. And that's how you know that somebody's onto a bit of art that's perfect. When it supersedes just the screen, it makes you feel something that's great. So every A24 movie that comes out, I try to watch it. Now that Max owns so much stuff, Discovery Max owns so much stuff now that they have their own A24 category in Max. So if I get really bored, I'll just go into Max and scroll down A24. And
they do a lot of stuff that does not get promoted heavily.
Yeah, and I think that they did a deal with Max that they will drop things exclusively on there and not even hit. I don't think the trailer that I saw that is going to make me watch this movie that I'm about to talk about is called Tuesday, and I think that went straight to streaming. I don't think it had a theatrical release, but anyway, so I see this in the A24 category, Julie Louis-Dreyfus. And I was telling Dylan that A24 movies now are the next kind of step up from certain actors. Like you take on an indie role and you really show what you got. And then you do the Marvel movies, so you get the money and you get the exposure. Then you go back and you do another indie film.
One for them, one for me.
Exactly. Now, A24 has the independent film feel, but the budget and monetary capability of Marvel. I mean, they have such mega budgets for their movies. Not that it's needed because they get a lot of artistry, but they have the ability of spending the money they need to tell the story they want to tell, not just blowing a big budget.
A24 is not a small company. They have a lot of money. They just paint themselves as low-key, like indie stuff.
Yeah.
But they got I think billions. Yeah, they're not a small company.
Yeah, I mean, once they started getting Oscar buzz, then it really just took off. And so yeah, this movie Tuesday shows up on HBO Max, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I put this trailer on, and within like 20 seconds, I'm like catching myself crying, and I'm like, well, I'm getting goosebumps already. Like this is crazy. The movie basically revolves around Julie Louis-Dreyfus and her daughter in the movie, and her daughter has a terminal illness, and it shows that she's going to pass kind of soon. Like it's implied that there's not much time left. And
while not having a good time,
no, it's pretty bad. But they seem very happy. They seem high spirited, for what's going on. Julie Louis-Dreyfus obviously is dealing with it in not a great way, and she's a little more sour, a little more upset. And then kind of out of nowhere, this bird shows up. And I had no idea what this was about when I watched the trailer.
It's a parrot or a macaw, one of the two.
Yeah. And this parrot shows up and it looks huge. Like when you see it, you're like, I think this is really big. And then it starts shrinking down, and then it talks, and it's got this beautiful, deep, booming voice. And I'm like, what is this about? And it turns out that in the trailer, and this is no spoilers because I haven't seen the movie yet, but the bird represents death, and it is kind of trying to lead Julie Louis-Dreyfus down the path of being okay with the fact that her daughter, their life has to end. And the idea that all life ends, and it's about understanding the life and not regretting certain things. And it gave me goosebumps up and down my entire body, and it was so cool. And I like when movies can make me just feel something. So I had to tell Dylan about it.
I definitely got goosebumps. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the difference between me and Dylan is that I have a child. I have a 26-year-old, beautiful child. And I think that a lot of times those movies hit me in a different emotional state because I do miss my daughter. You know, she is states and states away. And we spent a lot of time watching movies. That was like one of our things. And
if I have kids, I've never met them.
But I would watch movies with them also. So yeah, sometimes like movies about any kind of parental communication and conflict or whatever. Really,
I definitely got goosebumps throughout, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a heartstring tugger. There are moments where, like, they're laying it on.
Yeah. Is this something you think you'd watch, or is this too emotional for just an individual showing?
I feel like I would need to read a synopsis first, regardless of spoilers, just to know what I'm in for, so I can time it, so I don't get sideswiped. Okay. There's, you have those moments where the trailer does not represent. We talked about this, I think, last week with I saw the TV glow, where the trailer does not represent the final piece. So I would want to make sure that that's what I'm getting into.
You'll go online and spoil a movie for yourself to not be surprised.
It depends on the movie. If I'm not hyper invested in this one.
Okay.
If it's something that I really, really desperately, I did not spoil the substance for myself because I was super interested in what was happening. Yeah. Like I actively avoided. I watched one trailer and I actively avoided everything else after that.
What is something a movie can do to sideswipe you that you would not want to be surprised by?
Let's say, like, if there's a movie that promises an emotional journey, a primarily, like, character-driven relationship drama, and it turns into this weird kind of like, if it's suddenly there's a swing in the middle where it turns into this action revenge thriller.
Oh, okay.
If there's a tonal shift in the middle of the movie that was not broadcast in the trailer.
Okay, so it's more about the misrepresentation of the film. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, that's what I'm primarily kind of concerned about.
Yeah.
With Tuesday.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if it looks like it's going to be a heavy watch, I'm already on like ground, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to put myself through that. So I'll just be like, if it's something I'm really, really interested in, I might go to Letterboxd and read those reviews. Mm-hmm. Because even if they don't have spoilers marked, usually the jokey, quippy, like, I want to be featured on Best of Letterboxd's Instagram posts, those reviews, ones where they're trying to get meme clout.
Yeah. Usually
those wind up at least giving micro spoilers as far as tone or like I remember Saltburn. I wanted to go see it without knowing anything about it because I was curious, but I had looked up the Letterboxd reviews beforehand, and everybody's talking about a fucking bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee, when the bathtub shows up, I wonder if something weird's going to happen with it. And so I wasn't shocked as much as some people were with that movie.
Would you have preferred to have been shocked?
For that one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That was like a Rattle the Gen Z movie anyway.
Yeah.
Not disrespectfully, but very much like, aren't we being subversive with our American portrayal of sexuality?
Hey, I like Barry Keoghan.
Watch a French movie, kids. Like,
yeah, yeah, really. or early Italian stuff.
Yeah,
I'll definitely check it out. I'm kind of the same way where I am already emotionally unstable in a way where a commercial can just drop me to the couch and cry. But there are times I really want to just live in that emotion. So I will, I watch Eternal Sunshine every once in a while, just be like, yeah, that's what this.
Yeah, that one hurts.
That's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, let's get on to what we do here. Like I mentioned earlier, we had a show called Talking Upstream. There's 54 episodes of this show. In that show, Dylan and I, we would find some of our favorite creators and we would contact them. Like, hey, we have a couple ideas we want to chat with you about. And then we would get with them and we would chat about what they do, why they do, how they do what they do. And then collectively, we would pitch an idea each and we would let our guests choose which idea is worth any of our time, and it's very little bit of their time, which I do appreciate, which is cool. We get some really interesting insight and it really taught us how to expand our storytelling devices by watching other people do it with us, which is cool. So we decided, since we have 54 of these episodes, 54 different ideas that we've pitched, and one day I asked Dylan, hey, what do you think the best one was? Which led me to not listen to his answer, but instead to create a bracket system where we could whittle them down and figure out which one is the best of the best. Last time we talked about episode 52, which was a project called February 30th that we pitched with Australia Kincannon, and that was up against episode 41 of the show, Battle Train, and that was with Timothy Dowling, which is a great episode. So if you watch any of those, or if you have any insights on which one of those two should have won, I think that we did choose Battle Train, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a given. That was one of the most exciting things that we came up with, which did not turn into Bullet Train, by the way. It was
just, they are very different concepts.
They're different, but close enough that it hurt our feelings for a second.
Train-based action movies, yeah.
Brad Pitt, et cetera, et cetera. So this week, what the big 54-sided die came up with was season 2, episode 10, which was the one with Jack Barth. And Dylan, do you remember which one? Remember that episode?
Yes, he was the guy who wrote the prototype script for Yesterday.
Yeah, which is interesting because I don't think we've ever spoke to someone who has genuinely disliked one of their own projects adjacent. Apparently, and this is interesting. And we did ask him a bunch of questions about this. So if you are interested, to go check that out. But yeah, so the guy wrote the script for the movie Yesterday and gave it away and was not allowed to be there for the filming of it or the rewriting of it. And when he finally saw it, it was such a different thing than what he gave them, which is really cool.
There were allegations of stealing and not allowing his name to be on the project. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
A whole thing.
Yeah, which is a great episode. And we pitched him. Do you remember what we pitched him? I don't have that.
It was, oh man, I don't have it either. I'm bad.
Yeah, should have had that.
It was oh shoot, what was it? Because I remember I liked one of them very much.
We literally just
went over this. It was oh yes, it was the washed up stock car racer.
Oh yeah.
Versus,
it was a time traveling stock car racer, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what we had him choose between because the stock car racer won really easily.
Yeah, I forget completely.
No, it was a guy. He's a washed up minor league car racer, and he drinks 120-year-old corn whiskey and gets transported, like cursed by an Appalachian witch, and he gets teleported back to the American 1920s where he becomes a bootlegger and winds up kind of unintentionally starting NASCAR.
Yeah.
And he falls in love, and we were subverting time travel stories by having him decide to stay in the past because he's into it.
Yeah.
That was we just like we just take any sort of paradox question. We're just like, don't worry about it. We're not dealing with that.
Yeah. We're not ever going back to the future, so we don't need to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the fun part of that was creating kind of those those questions that most viewers would watch were like, well, if they do this, like what's going to happen? But we don't care. He's not going back. It does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's a corn whiskey that was cursed by a witch. But all right. So that's going to be up against season 1, episode 33, which was David Wechter and Bruce Kimmel. Those are the two guys that wrote The Faculty.
Cool
probably
guys.
One of the most energetic interview we've had. Those
guys
were
very fun.
They were very fun. I feel like they talked about cocaine a lot for some reason.
Yeah, they were writing movies in the 80s.
Yeah, they're going at it. It was a great writing team, and Faculty is one of my favorite movies, especially from the 90s. And do you remember what those things that we pitched to those gentlemen?
Shopping Mall Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Which I don't think ever got chosen, which is fine. I think that was one that I set aside. I think I was just like, this has been on 5 episodes. I can't pitch this again.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They're not every concept is a winner. And the one that won was, we had it just tentatively, Apartment Complex Paranoia, where a Doc Brown style character creates a device that ambiently collects thoughts and prints them out, so you can like read the minds of everybody in a 400-foot radius, and it prints it out onto a sheet. And his Marty McFly character realizes on one of the readouts that it's printed out that someone's planning a murder.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, we have to figure out who's going to commit murder before they do. These are our neighbors. And it turned into this kind of like closed, because there was like a blizzard or something, so they were all stuck there. So it became this kind of weird closed circle bottle episode, like murder mystery mind reading thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And for the record, the shopping mall Fight Club, what was it called?
Shopping Mall Hunger Games. It was like for some reason it was Battle Train, but in a mall. Pretty much, it was like that.
It's like all the different stores of like a going out of business shopping mall had to, instead of like them having to pay rent or whatever, they could fight, and if they won, then that person got kicked out of the shopping mall, and that kept all the earth.
That's nonsense.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's very funny. I would rather.
It's an Adult Swim bumper. It's not a movie.
Yeah. It's like if Adult Swim did like Trailer Park Boys. All right, so we have. I think we end up calling the one with the NASCAR driver that was called High Octane for a little bit, which I think is a pretty good name, because I think High Octane talks about like alcohol sometimes, but also like speed. And if it's not, I don't know, whatever. Let's just say it's High Octane for right now. Sure. High Octane versus Invented Paranoia.
It's highlighted on the document as Apartment Complex Paranoia, but that's also just like, we didn't come up with titles for these.
Yeah, not necessary. Because we kind of came up with titles afterwards when I was making thumbnails for things. And I think we either called it Created Paranoia or Invented Paranoia. Either way, it's a cool name. But it's got better names. But yeah, so which one of those two ideas, Dylan, would you want to spend more of your time in Chicago working on?
I mean, I really like the idea of High Octane. I think it's fun.
It is fun. Because the other one kind of felt. I remember when we were kind of creating it with them, it had almost this Lady in the Water feel to it. Remember, like each character was so specific. It was like, all right, this kind of feels like this enclosed thing. So I kind of lost a little bit of interest in that. Although I do like the idea of a device telling you someone's going to kill somebody and you have no idea who it's going to be.
I feel like there would be a pretty good like murder mystery party game.
Yeah.
Like we could develop like a board game, like a party game out of that, where it's like you have like thought cards or something, and you assign them to. You draw a hand of like. You have a thought deck, like an idea deck, and then everybody puts one in the middle, and one person has like a murder card in their starting hand or something.
Yeah, you should work on that. But we're not going to work on that this show because I think that the other one is better. So we're going to choose.
It's also not what we do here anymore. It's
not what we do here anymore. We don't work on projects currently. We talk about the projects that we want to work on or that we should never have worked on or that we want to watch anyway. I think High Octane is a better product for us to work on. I think that content is really interesting. I love a good witch curse anyway. I do like Appalachian moonshine. I think all that stuff's very, very funny, and kind of inadvertently creating NASCAR through bootlegging. I always like when you take something that's kind of real and just throw some stupid shit at it, like a hot tub time machine. All right, so tune in next time when we're going to figure this out. We have many more weeks of trying to figure out this bracket system. I should just post a picture of this so people can see it. All right, I'll have that worked on next time. So next time we're going to get down to showing the bracket and what we're going to work on, and anything else you want to talk about, Dylan?
Vote. Just
friggin' vote.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I don't. That's all honestly, I want to.
And I would say, like, it doesn't matter who you vote for, just vote.
It's very diplomatic of you.
But I'm not going to say that. Don't vote for Trump. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But do vote for someone who's not Trump. If you vote for anyone who's not Trump, I'd be very, very happy. Yes, go vote. It's your civic duty. It's also one of your freedoms. It also changes some things, and you don't need to complain about gas prices from 10 years ago or something stupid. Just vote. Care. You know what I mean? Care. Some people are having a hard time. You might not be having a hard time. Some people are having a hard time.
Plenty of people are having hard times.
And your vote means more to them than it does to you. So
there's a potential outcome to this that a lot more people are going to have a lot harder time.
That's true. Yeah. Shit's bad for no reason other than terrible people making some crazy decisions. So vote, but vote the right way because people care. You got to care about other people. Care about humans.
This show is not apolitical.
No.
We have a stance.
We have a stance. We're freaking pro-choice. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like
there's some really. I'm not trying to get into the weeds of this, but there's some really bad shit possible.
Yeah. And once again, you don't have to like people. You have to care for people, in general. We have to care for people that need help and people that need caring. So be smart, vote for the right people, but just go vote. Please, Dylan, good call.
Yeah.
If you want, do you want people to find your social medias for any reason?
I don't. Oh, I'm on Blue Sky now. I did it. I signed up for Blue Sky. No, it's a Twitter replacement, and it's far better than Threads was, and it's easier than Mastodon was to use. And with Twitter or X, removing the anonymity granted by blocking your followers, which is a bad thing to do. There's been a very large migration to Blue Sky. My feed is mostly artists and like D&D stuff and pictures of cats. It's very nice. It's very nice to have a spot on the internet where I can actually tailor what I see and get some interaction with other writers. So yeah, I'm gonna pitch. Find me at Vorpal-words on Blue Sky.
Hell yeah.
I managed to get. I got it. Yeah, find me there. Find me on Instagram if you like. Same thing, no hyphen.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
No, and if you're looking for some really funny, interesting content, go check out what Jack Billings is up to. Their Patreon, even the free tier of Patreon is dropping some really fun stuff for $1. If you just want to like throw in $1, you get some really cool, funny stuff from a very, very creative and grumpy old man. And I don't think there's a better way to throw $1 down the drain than to cheer up Michael Colby and giggle at his crazy, crazy jokes.
Or throw it at us. We also have a patreon.com/somenobodies.
It's true.
We don't web hosting.
Yeah, that'd be great. We don't put as much stuff on there as we should.
No,
and I'm going to change that starting this week.
Retool it a little bit.
We got to retool. We're going to go through a retooling phase, guys. But until then, I've been Zach. He has been Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been great.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, you got anything else to say?
Nah.
Good.
Wait, no!